not affiliated with any other Israelite group. Israel United in Christ is a non-violent Bible-based movement. We do not advocate or condone any acts of violence against any race, ethnicity, or gender. We advise that if anyone hears or knows of any plots to cause harm to anyone or to break the laws of the land, you must contact the proper authorities to bring awareness to any possible threat as stated in Leviticus 5 verse 1.
Hey, shalom, Israel, Most High in Christ bless. Thomas, bro, you got to read that thing with some life, bro.
Sorry.
Dang. Hey, Most High in Christ bless. This precept upon precept. Welcome back to another edition. Cap is out right now. Y'all already know he one of the busiest men in Israel, so we're going to hold it down for him. All right, I'm Captain Matthew.
Officer Micah.
Officer Thomas.
Officer Malachi.
And we are back at it again with another edition of Precept Upon Precept. Hey, do me a favor. You see that right there? This thing right here? Yeah. Go ahead and give alms. All right. Help out the Booster Club, bro. We got a lot of things that we trying to do as a body, and we need the Booster Club to help us out. All right. We need the Booster Club to help us out. You know, we grassroots. Everything come from our pockets. We ain't got no government assistance, subsidies, or anything like that. In fact, why would the government pay us and they hate us? Think about it. So we got to pay for ourselves, all right? And with the help of you brothers and sisters that believe this work, invest in this work, hey, we going to get the job done. All praise to the Most High. So without further ado, let's go to Officer Michael with the Watchman Report.
Hey, shalom, Israel, Most High in Christ bless. Not going to hold up the show. We got a great show, so let's get to what's going on in the world today. Pentagon announces it has accepted jet from Qatar that will be used by Trump once it is modified. Yeah, they just going to search the hell out of it. They ain't even modified. That's what they going to do. Next article. Come on, roll with me. 5th inmate recaptured after New Orleans jailbreak. Maintenance worker arrested. They gonna arrest more than that. How the hell you just not pay attention to them? Look, and then they found they scroll up. You see them? They run across the highway right there. They know they were gone till what? 8 hours later. Next article. Elias Rodriguez. What we know about suspect charged with murder in Capital Jewish Muslim shooting. He was saying, "Stop bombing Gaza." Hey, they waking up. Next article. Netanyahu promises new Gaza aid delivery plan as supplies still fail to reach Palestinians. The only supply they sending is bombs. They bombing the hell out of them. They ain't aiding them. They giving them bombs. Judge rules DHS violated court order in deporting 8 migrants to South Sudan. Let's scroll up. Let's see what them 8 migrants look like. They supposed to get they said they didn't get their due process. You can go read it for yourself. They probably ain't got the picture up there. Thought I had a picture in there. European officials say Trump tells their leaders Putin isn't ready to end the war. Of course not. He's getting paid for it. And this concludes the Watchman Report.
All right. The Golden Dome, Babylon's last stand. All right. So we got the nukes going off in the back. Got Trump in the middle. Of course, he is, everything flows through him. He could do all things. And then we got, what is that? What are those?
Talking about the screens?
Yeah, the screens. They got those different screens.
Yeah, that's how they monitor the targets that they're gonna hit.
Yeah, strike zones.
Strike zones. You got I like how the missiles make it look golden.
Like the dome.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The missiles look like the dome itself. All praises. All praises. So, look, with this here, I guess, situation with Trump. So, Trump wants to build the Golden Dome. Now, right. Israel has the Iron Dome. Trump wants to build the Golden Dome. Like, ain't that crazy? That the president of the United States wants to build the Golden Dome. Now, hey, go to Revelation real quick. I just thought about it. What that scripture that say Babylon is fallen? 18. All right. Not that one. They called it the Golden City.
Okay, let me
see. Revelation 21. No, that's not it. That's not it. Isaiah 14:4. That's it.
That's it?
Yep.
Let's get it. Yeah, get Isaiah 14, verse 4.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 14, verse 4. That thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon, saying, how had the oppressor ceased?
How hath the oppressor ceased? Read.
The golden city ceased.
The golden city ceased. So Israel got the Iron Dome. They want the Golden Dome. So they the golden city. Ain't they the richest nation in the world?
Facts.
Right. Don't they got the highest GDP? Don't they have control of everybody? Don't they have bases everywhere? And now they want to build a Golden Dome. Just shows you, man. Just shows you. I don't give a damn how many spiritual advisors they got. Y'all ain't stopping prophecy. All right? Y'all is not stopping prophecy. Hey, so go to this this first article to see what is the Golden Dome.
What we know about Trump's Golden Dome missile defense plan. U.S. President Donald Trump has unveiled his plan for a multi-billion-dollar missile defense shield, known as the Golden Dome, to shield the U.S. from next-generation missile attacks, relying on space-based defense systems. Here's what we know so far.
So it's a multi-billion-dollar thing. Ain't this dude slashing like the whole government, like firing everybody?
Yeah, he on a warpath.
This dude firing everybody. He cutting Social Security. He cutting food stamps left and right. And everybody wondering why. Because he wants to save up money to go to war.
And, Cap, to that point, what people don't understand, he is imposing tariffs on people. That is going to piss people off. So he has to build up his defenses for imminent attack is coming. So he's got to build up the defenses so he can try to repel borders, but it's not going to work.
And that's the thing. Why build a Golden Dome to repel missile attacks if the world is just full of love and cupcakes and rainbows? Right. Why have a missile defense system? Who would attack you?
Right.
I thought everyone loved everyone.
America's great.
Where's John 3:16 at? For God so loved the world. Why is the world preparing for war if this is all love? Ain't this a Christian nation?
They're all one in Christ Jesus.
Where's Galatians 3:28 now? Where is that at? I want to know. Let no man judge you in missiles or bombs or respect of a drone strike. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on. What are y'all really doing out here? We got to understand this. This is the one thing that we got to understand. America is Babylon the Great, as prophesied in the Bible. Whether you believe it or not, Babylon the Great in Revelation is prophesied to be destroyed because she got a hold of all the kingdoms of the earth. Now, what nation now has a hold of all the kingdoms of the earth? What nation now is so powerful that everybody wants to come against them? We were still in Isaiah 14, right?
Yes, sir.
Keep on reading.
Verse 5. The Lord had broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers.
He broke the staff of the wicked, not a wicked, the wicked. Now, there's two things we got to do right here. Go to Malachi 1. First, we got to find out what the wicked is. And then we're going to find out what is going to happen while the staff of the wicked is being broken. Read that.
This is the book of Malachi, chapter 1 and verse 3. And I hated Esau and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness. Whereas Edom said, we are impoverished, but we will return and build a desolate place.
Edom says they were impoverished. They will return and build the desolate places. Edom was impoverished. When black people ruled Europe in the Dark Ages, they were impoverished. But they did make a return. That was in the Renaissance period. Read on.
Thus said the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down.
They're going to build, but God is going to throw down. Read.
And they shall call them the border of wickedness.
A border has a beginning and an end. They are the border of wickedness. They are the beginning and the end of wickedness. They are the wicked.
Right.
You understand? Now go to 2 Thessalonians.
Hey, Cap. That's
Yeah.
You know what's heavy in that verse? It says, and they shall call them the border of wickedness. Meaning the other nations know who the wickedness is.
Yup.
The other nations already know. It's just us in America who don't understand who the mystery of iniquity is.
Exactly. Read that, 2 Thessalonians 2 and 3. And all nations, like in the Middle East, they call America the Great Satan. Everybody got a problem with America. Everybody got a problem with America. But to those of y'all who never leave the States, you never leave your city, you never travel, and when I say travel, I don't mean like black women be going to Spain and twerking in other countries and being Ghana slay queens in Dubai, being porta potties. I'm not talking about that. That's not traveling. That's whoredom. When you travel to actually uplift your people, you know, the people that nobody else cares about, y'all talking about there's neither Jew nor Greek, but y'all don't even go to the Greeks. That God so loved the world, but you don't even bring the gospel to the rest of the world. Yeah, those people that y'all forget about, that's who you got to go teach. That's who needs you. That's who needs the gospel. But y'all don't do it. So you know who's going to do it? You know who's supposed to do it and who's going to be good at it and succeed in it? The prophets.
Right.
Read on.
It's the book of 2 Thessalonians, chapter 2 and verse 3. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first.
That falling away was us going into captivity. Read on.
And that man of sin be revealed.
That man of sin is that same wicked we read about in Malachi 1. He got to be revealed. Why? Because that's why it's called Mystery Babylon the Great. Nobody knows who this Babylon is, but the prophet's going to reveal it. Read on.
The son of perdition.
The son of destruction. We have to show who that son of destruction is. And it's going to happen tonight.
Right.
That's right. Who opposed and exalted himself above all that is called God.
They exalt themselves above all that is called God. We're called gods, and what do? They put themselves above us. We're called by the name of God, and what do? Change our names. Read.
Or that is worship, so that he as God.
He as God.
Sitting in the temple of God.
When you Google the word God, a white man is going to pop up. When you Google Jesus, a white man is going to pop up.
Facts.
If you Google an angel right now, a white man is going to pop up. They put themselves as God. Read on.
So that he as God sitting in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God.
Who do that? I don't remember seeing no Chinese person going up in no temple talking about he's God.
Nope.
I don't remember no African going up in the temple talking about he's God. I don't remember no Arab person going up in the temple talking about he's God. The only person that do that is the so-called white man. That's the only person in the earth that walk around and says that he is God. And when you want to watch something about God, look up something about God, know something about God, it's through him that you go.
Yep.
Go back to Isaiah 14. Are we still in that first article? That was it?
It had a little video.
It said, yeah, let's play that video. Read that.
Isaiah chapter 14 and verse 5. The Lord had broken the staff of the wicked.
The Lord broke the staff of the wicked. How will the staff of the wicked start to be broken? By us revealing who he is. Read.
and the scepter of the rulers.
The scepter of the rulers means their rulership. Go ahead.
He who smote the people in wrath.
He that smote the people in wrath. I don't know about y'all, but it looked like some wrath that was going on in Gaza.
Right.
It looked like wrath that was going on when Obama bombed, 16 different countries?
Yep.
It looked like wrath when they went through Iran and Iraq bombing them. It looked like wrath when they went through Senegal and Libya and took out Gaddafi. It looked like wrath when they went through Panama. It looked like wrath when they went through all of these different wars and started all of these conflict. It looked like wrath when they dropped the bomb on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. All of that looked like wrath. Read.
He who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke.
With a continual stroke. You want to know why? Because they keep on doing it. The U.S. is always involved in some sort of conflict, whether they declare war or they call it a prolonged
Proxy war? A proxy war?
Nah, they call it a prolonged military engagement. That's what they call it. We never really declared war. It's more of a prolonged military engagement. Because, they got smooth words.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's Esau. That's what they do.
Read on.
He that ruleth the nations in anger is persecuted, and none hinder it.
Hey, and what?
And none hinder it.
He that ruleth the nations in anger is persecuted, meaning they're attacked, and none hindereth. Y'all not stopping this. Your friends ain't stopping this. You understand? Let's play that video.
You have to read it.
Nah, turn the volume on. They should be
You got to read it.
Drones in the campaign, I promised the American people that I
Yeah.
would build a cutting-edge
No,
missile
no,
defense
leave
shield
it, leave it.
to protect our homeland from the threat of foreign missile attack. And that's what we're doing. Once fully constructed, the Golden Dome will be capable of intercepting missiles even if they are launched from other sides of the world and even if they are launched from space.
Stop. Why would they have to worry about missile attacks from the other side of the world?
Right.
Who's on the other side of the world that would be thinking about attacking you?
Or who has missiles that they can't stop?
One would want to know, who is it that you trying to protect yourself from? It's not a boogeyman. It's got to be an actual person. Somebody over there got to have some power that you scared of.
Then he said from space also.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay.
So y'all really think that this Golden Dome, you can call it a platinum dome. You make it sound real good, a diamond dome. You understand? It's not going to do anything. Go to the next article.
In the
We good? All right, so right here, damn, that hairpiece looks bad. I'm not even gonna lie, that hairpiece looks bad. He got a nose like Owen Wilson. So Trump right here, in his braggadocious nature that he has, what did he do, Michael?
It's going to be great. It's great. It's going to be great. It's going to be great.
Let's hear what Trump got to say about this here Iron Dome.
Here we go.
campaign, I promised the American people that I would build a cutting-edge missile defense shield to protect our homeland from the threat of foreign missile attack. And that's what we're doing. Today, I'm pleased to announce that we have officially selected an architecture for this state-of-the-art system that will deploy next-generation technologies across the land, sea, and space, including space-based sensors and interceptors. And Canada has called us, and they want to be a part of it. So we'll be talking to them. They want to have protection also. So
Hey, stop that. Stop
here we
that.
go.
Go ahead.
He said, and I hope y'all know what he's doing. Trump is I don't know if you know what Pimp Daddy Kane is. Trump finna get paid. He ain't finna get his Canada want to be a part. Yeah, we'll talk to him. He finna shoot him an invoice like, hey, look, check it out. This is what it's gonna cost you. 'Cause remember when he was in his first term, you gotta pay us. Trump is a businessman. He finna get paid. And for those of you that think America is in any kind of debt, you're asleep because
Hey,
they not.
That dude said Canada said they want our protection. Remember what he told NATO? He said, well, we're protecting NATO. They haven't paid. If they won't pay, we won't protect them.
That's right.
So Canada wants protection. So you're right. Canada about to pay out. Canada just might be the 51st state, bro. I know they was fighting it at first, but now it's like, hey, what you going to do when these folks over here start bombing us?
That's it.
We're going to be protected. We have the Golden Dome. Well, they think they're going to be protected.
They finna get in the bed with that whore.
I'm just saying.
I'm just saying that the safest, the most safest place is trying to get the most protection. No, when the last time America been bombed? When the last time anybody even shot a missile over here to attack America?
Not
But all of
never.
a sudden now we need a Golden Dome now.
Yep. Because he's anticipating something. They know and they understand. In the real world, there's wars going on. There are governments and powers that are against one another. And they are going to blow this thing up. It's going to happen. It's written in the Bible. You can't stick your head in the sand forever. Y'all Christians, y'all got to wake up. I don't see y'all going and standing in front of them. I don't see y'all going on none of their lives. I don't see you picketing outside of the White House talking about some no war and God love everybody, this, that, and the third. What I'm saying, where them same ones at? All that animosity and stuff that y'all got for us. All we doing is reading words off a book. And it's coming to pass in real life.
And something that they forgot about. For years, they did not want Iran, them dragons of Arabia, they did not want them to have nuclear capabilities. Trump, no, he said it when he was he was running for the presidency. He said, we're so close to World War III. And people are asleep. They did not want Iran to get nuclear capabilities. They bombed Soleimani, and now they wanted to look at Iran's nuclear program. Iran's like, the hell with you. Trump knows this.
Yep. It's not going to go down how they think.
No.
This is not going to go down. Yeah, I mean, it's fun to watch because as the prophets, we already know what's going to go down. We already know what's going to happen. We're resolved in the fact that this thing is about to be done. Yeah. And we can read about it. Play on.
Interceptors, and Canada has called us and they want to be a part of it. So we'll be talking to them. They want to have protection also. So as usual, we help Canada do the best we can. This design for the Golden Dome will integrate with our existing defense capabilities and should be fully operational before the end of my term. So we'll have it done in about 3 years. Once fully constructed, the Golden Dome will be capable of intercepting missiles even if they are launched from other sides of the world and even if they are launched from space. And we will have the best system ever built. As you know, we helped Israel with theirs, and it was very successful. And now
so there you go. We helped Israel with theirs. It was very successful. If it was so successful, then why did October 7th happen? Oh, I know why. Because y'all turned it off for a second.
Right.
It's not like they don't have a history of afflicting themselves and then crying like, oh, my God, look what this person did. Like the person said that they wrote anti-Semitic stuff on their door, and they got caught on camera, spray painted themselves. Meanwhile, Amalek is up there in New York kicking homeless black men off of wheelchairs, and nothing's happening to them.
Facts.
Mm-hmm. You understand? But they lying on us, though. Everything is our fault. You got to be crazy. You got to be crazy. Now, why would they need a defense system that protects you on the ground and in space? How much protection do you really need? Y'all might as well just stay in your house. Just go in your little underground bunkers and never come out. Mm-hmm. If you're that scared, like, what are you that afraid of? Really? Like Officer Thomas said, ain't nobody ever attacked this place.
No.
There was never no attack on this place. 9/11 is questionable, and everything else was domestic terrorism. Oklahoma City bombing.
Yep. Timothy McVeigh. Yep.
And all of the other ones was white folks shooting up schools.
Yeah, that's it.
Right, that's basically what America's known for. We got a bunch of school shooters.
The homegrown little terrorists.
You know what I'm saying? They're making bombs and pipe bombs in their houses and stuff like that. The terrorism that you worried about comes from here, not over there. You understand? Go to the next article. Hey, go continue reading in Isaiah 14, where you left off at.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 14 and verse 7. The whole earth is at rest and is quiet. They break forth into singing.
So the whole earth is going to sing when Esau is taken down. Read on.
Yea, the fir trees rejoice at thee, and the cedars of Lebanon saying, since thou art laid down, no feller is come up against us.
Because they the ones that destroying the rainforest, ain't they?
Yes.
Yep.
They the ones that's going knocking down the trees for no apparent reason, selling things and making wood and all this, that, and the third. Hey, go to chapter 13 and start at verse 19.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 13 and verse 19.
Uh-huh.
In Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees, excellency, shall be as when God overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah.
How did Sodom and Gomorrah get overthrown? By fire falling from the sky. Now, what is the Iron Dome supposed to prevent? Fire from falling out the sky. Y'all going against prophecy. It ain't going to happen. It shall be, read it again.
In Babylon, the glory of the kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees, excellency, shall be as when God overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah.
It shall be as when God overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. We could read Sodom and Gomorrah, it had fire rain down from heaven on them, and they were destroyed. So Babylon is going to be destroyed the same exact way. Fire falling from heaven. Read on.
It shall never be inhabited, neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation.
That's how you know it didn't happen yet. It can't be Iraq, which was ancient Babylon, because people lived there. Mm-hmm. It's talking about this place that is the daughter of Babylon. This place right here is going to be destroyed and nobody's ever going to live here again. Read on.
Neither shall the Arabian pitch tent there, neither shall the shepherds make their foe there.
Because the Arabians are here. They're the ones that own all the gas stations.
Facts.
And that's the irony of it, because they already got the caterpillars in here already. So even
Exactly.
if you got the golden dome, you still got all your enemies in here.
You're securing your enemies.
Hey,
Let
give
them
me the
across
map.
the border.
Give me the map of the gas and oil pipelines. The gas and oil pipelines. All right. Put that article up from Reuters.
Trump selects 175 billion golden dome defense shield design, appoints leader.
Scroll down. Let's see about this.
Washington President Donald Trump said on Tuesday he had selected a design for the 175 billion golden dome missile defense shield and named a Space Force general to head the ambitious program aimed at blocking threats from China and Russia.
Whoa!
That is. There we go.
So these are the ones that's from far away overseas, the other side of the world. Them the ones you worried about. Oh, you worried about China and Russia.
Because remember, Russia was they were like at the tip of the spear with them hypersonic missiles, and they were like their air defense system was struggling to detect them, couldn't pick them up because they don't fly in a general. They don't fly like a normal missile. You know it's there when it's hitting you.
And China is in space.
Right there
Oh,
you go.
yeah. China in space. Remember, the space race was between Russia and the U.S. Russia went up there first, but the U.S. landed on the moon. Hey, get that in Obadiah. Y'all got to understand, bro. Y'all got to understand. The Bible is a true book. The space race was between, it was between China, Russia, and the U.S. But Russia and the U.S. really was like the top two. Russia actually sent somebody into orbit. They sent somebody around the moon, but they didn't land on the moon. And yes, they had to use our sisters in order to get the calculations to land on the moon. Nevertheless, Russia went around the moon first. The U.S. landed on the moon first. And what did they do?
Obadiah, verse 4. Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle.
They exalt themselves as the eagle. What other nation on earth has had a history throughout history and generations exalting themselves as the eagle. Who? You had Rome. You had Spain. You had France. You had Russia. You had Germany. You had Great Britain. Now you got America. You got all of these countries that was exalting themselves as the eagle. And what they all got in common? They all Esau. They all Caucasian. Read on.
And though thou set thy nest among the stars.
And though they set their nest among the stars. Real quick, I know y'all looking for the gas and oil pipeline of the United States. Look up the Susan B. Anthony dollar, the back of it. It said, though it was prophesied that they would exalt themselves as the eagle and they would set their nest among the stars. And yes, that nest is going into those satellites that they have up there because they're up there forever. They're up there. And they're up there and they're going around in orbit and they're tracking everything. Susan B. Anthony dollar. If you can't get the one in color, I'll take the one that's all silver. Keep scrolling.
That's it right there.
Yeah. Just get that one. Just get that one. Now make the I want to zoom in on the back of it, not her head. All right, right there. So zoom in on the back of the dollar. I remember when I was little, my pops gave me one of these. I had like 4 of them. Like, yeah, this is Susan B. Anthony dollar. I'm like, I don't know what the hell that is. But anyway, as you can see, on the back of the Susan B. Anthony dollar says United States of America. In the very back, that's the earth. That's an eagle. And underneath the eagle is the moon. What the eagle has in its claws is a branch setting a nest up there. If y'all could find the one in color, please do. If y'all could find the one in color, because the one in color is that's the one. But they set their nest among the stars. And read on.
And though they set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith the Lord.
When you set your nest among the stars, when y'all start space travel, from that point, we're going to bring you down. And guess what? From that time, 1969, that is when. You got it right there.
The first one.
The first one up there. Up. No. Over. Yeah, up. Right. There you go. There you go. That's the one we need. So since 1969, that's when the truth started to come out. Remember?
Yep. Right.
Truth came out in 1969. They went up there in 1969. The Susan B. Anthony dollar came out 10 years after, 1979. Now zoom in on the eagle again. This is the back of the Susan B. Anthony dollar. You got the United States of America. You got the earth in the back. You got the eagle. You got the branch, and the eagle is setting its nest on the moon. There you go. Who else is doing that?
Right.
Where else in history can you find this?
Plain.
You can't find it nowhere else. Now go back to the article. All right, so they're trying to block China and Russia from attacking them. But why would China and Russia attack them?
They don't have a reason to. Right now.
Could it be that the United States just put tariffs on all of them? That they threatened them? Remember they said they're going to either accept these tariffs or we're going to negotiate another way?
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? Like the United States, they smote the nations in anger. They rule the nations in wrath. That's why all of these nations are trying to team up together just to take down Babylon. They're all teaming up. That's why the one time that they do attack is going to be successful. They're going to be successful. For one, it's scriptural. It's prophecy. So when they try their attack, their first attempt is going to be their last attempt because they're going to be successful at it. Read on.
The program, first ordered by Trump in January, aims to create a network
you
of
scroll-
satellites, perhaps numbering in the hundreds, to detect, track, and potentially intercept incoming missiles.
Can y'all scroll it up? Because it was kind of blocked off by the Precept Upon Precept logo. Go ahead.
Trump told a White House press conference that U.S. Space Force General Michael Gautland will be the lead program manager for an effort widely viewed as the keystone to Trump's military planning.
Now, why would that be the keystone to Trump's military planning? Meaning, all of his efforts and his focus is on the defense of the United States, not upping their military strategy, not training their soldiers better. No, we need to block the possibility of ICBMs hitting this country. But why? What would make anybody want to shoot ICBMs at this country? I'm just a stupid American. I don't know why. Let's go to Jeremiah 50. Start at verse 1.
And you know, it's crazy how they could spend all this money on the defense system, $100 and something billion, and they claim they got $1 trillion deficit.
Exactly.
No.
Who they owe?
Now, what and to that point, they collected on those student loans too. So Trump said, "Look, you niggas finna pay for this. Y'all finna pay for this
Oh man, Trump said, "Look, run me my ducats.
quick.
Run me my cash out. You better PayPal me my stuff."
I'm garnishing your check."
And he gonna send the IRS to come and get it from you. Understand that these people, they're not gonna spend extra to protect themselves. They're gonna spend yours.
Yep.
You understand? They're gonna see all of them government subsidies. They're gonna see all of those government contracts, the ones that don't mean nothing. You know, your squirrel counters in Times Square. Your what else? What other?
Pigeon people taking pictures of pigeons.
Pigeon picture takers. You know what I'm saying? That 500,000 going right to the military.
Right.
You understand? These people, they're very wise when it comes to war because that was their gift.
That's it.
Matter of fact, let's get that in Genesis 27. That's their gift. Their gift is the gift of warfare. That's why it takes the whole world to come against them, because they go against the whole world. And not only do they go against the whole world, but they actually trick other nations into going against their own people. Just look at South Africa. Read that.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 27 and verse 39. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of the heaven from above.
Esau gonna live everywhere in the best places. Read.
Verse 40. And by the sword shall thou live.
By thy sword shall thou live. That was a blessing from God. That was a that's Esau's blessing is warfare. By his sword he shall live. And ever since he's been established on this earth, he has lived by his sword. He took over nations by the sword. He spread abroad his power by the sword.
Right.
He spread abroad his religion by the sword. His philosophies by the sword. If he wants anything, he takes it. He don't ask for nothing. He didn't vote his way into being the leader of the world. He took it.
Facts.
Read on.
And by thy sword shall thou live, and shall serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass when thou shalt have the dominion, and when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck.
Because we was the ones that was running Esau. Back then, in the time of Joshua, but also in the time of the Dark Ages. Mm-hmm. See, that's where Swarte Pete comes from. See, he was the helper of Krampus, and they used to tell their little Caucasian babies that if you're a bad boy, Swarte Pete is going to come and put you in a knapsack and take you to Spain. What was in Spain? Black people. Black folk. Yeah, they're going to kidnap you and them niggas going to get you. Better be a good boy. You understand? Mm-hmm. That goes right along with that whole Santa Claus stuff that y'all be telling y'all kids. They was the ones that was scared of us. Now go back to the article. I know I told you to get Jeremiah 50. Hold it.
Golden Dome will protect our homeland, Trump said, adding that Canada has said it wanted to be a part of it.
Of course it do. Remember how he said, Canada needs our help. So we're going to help them the best we can. Meaning, yeah, I know what they were saying before. I know they were saying that they didn't want no parts. They wasn't trying to be the 51st state. But I think they're going to change their tune in a minute.
That's Micah too right there.
You know what I'm saying?
He better get paid. He'll impress the hell out of him.
Rito?
In a statement, the Office of Canada Prime Minister Mark Carney said he and his ministers were discussing a new security and economic relationship with the American counterparts. These discussions naturally include strengthening North and related initiatives such as the Golden Dome, it added. Trump said the defense shield, which would cost some $175 billion, should be operational by the end of its term in January 2029. But industrial experts were less certain of that time frame and the cost.
Now, I'm going to show you how far ahead Esau thinks, because he's talking about something in the next 4 years. So in the next 4 years, they expect this Golden Dome to be finished, and they expect it to be fully operational. Now, they very well could finish it, and it still have glitches. Mm-hmm. Remember, because like years ago, they was doing all of those videos that was coming out, and Deacon Ithan had brought it out that the chariots actually deactivated some of their nuclear warheads. Yep. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So even you could really have an established Golden Dome that possibly could be 100% operational and work, but you still can't stop the power of the Most High. The Lord had just cut the power to it. You know what I'm saying? He could just cut the power to it. How are you gonna protect yourself then? Just like the Iron Dome failed, the Golden Dome will too. Read on.
Ronald Reagan wanted it many years ago, but they didn't have the technology, Trump said, referring to the space-based missile defense system, popularly called Star Wars, that Reagan proposed.
Remember, Reagan did propose that. Remember, he said, if we could protect ourselves from an outside alien threat, what would that outside alien threat be? Could it be Christ and the angels coming back to destroy everything? See, they know what the prophecy says. They know what's happening. They're just trying to fight against it. They're going to fight till the end. They're not going to go down quietly. They're going to fight and fight and fight. Read Jeremiah 50, verse 2.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 50, verse 2.
Start at verse 1.
Verse 1. The word that the Lord spake against Babylon and against the land of the Chaldeans by Jeremiah the prophet. Declare ye among the nations, and publish, and set up a standard, publish and conceal not. Say, Babylon is taken, Baal is confounded. Merodach is broken in pieces. Her idols are confounded. Her images are broken in pieces.
So that's America. America is a nation full of idols. Baal, Merodach. You got a series called American Gods, where they talked about all of the idols that are in America, from Easter to those Nordic gods to the Roman gods, all the way to the technological gods. Because that's what people are now. They are their own idols. That's why they have social media. That's why every person has a channel. You go on YouTube, we call it a YouTube channel.
Podcast.
What are you channeling? What are you casting? Spirits. That's why you got people that are broke as hell, but all they got to do is dress nice and look like they got something, and they'll convince 10,000 other people that those 10,000 people are lacking somewhere in life, and they got to go out and be just like this person that they don't even know got $200 in their bank account. Because everything is about covetousness and idolatry. But all of those idols are going to get ruined. They're all going to get destroyed. Read on.
Verse 3. For out of the north there cometh up a nation against her, which shall make her land desolate, and none shall dwell therein. They shall remove, they shall depart, both man and beast.
Everything is going to move. Everything is going to be destroyed. Everything is going to be out of Babylon the Great. This place is going down in flames. Hey, let's go to the next article.
On, Cap, before we jump.
Oh wait, go. What you got? What you got?
See right there, because we seen the 175 billion. That ain't the number. That's not the number. You got to the devil. They always say the devil's in the details. Read right there where it says this month. Right there.
This month, the Congregational Budget Office estimated that Golden Dome could cost as much as $831 billion over 2 decades.
That 170, that 170, because you still got to train people up. You got to start implementing all kind of stuff. Got to happen.
So the 175 is just the building of it.
Right.
The 831 is the maintenance.
They got to spend some money.
So close to $1 trillion
Yep.
that they're in debt with. They're in debt. $1 trillion
They're
of
in
debt.
In debt, Cap. They're in debt.
Close to $1 trillion that they're going to have in order to make this thing happen over the next 2 decades. This is how they think. They think years, decades, centuries ahead. They don't even have to be here when it happens. Remember, Reagan said that he started the Star Wars initiative.
Facts.
They didn't even have that kind of stuff back then. They was barely making it into space.
Trump
Barely
said
making it into orbit.
Trump said he's going to see it through, though.
Man, now you got that crazy ass Elon Musk dude. Man, look. This the next article? So how are all of these things going to happen? How is Babylon going to be desolate? Who are they scared of on the other side of the world? Who would they be afraid of when they say we got to protect ourselves from intercontinental ballistic missiles from the other side of the world? Let's see what's going on the other side of the world.
China, Afghanistan, and Pakistan look to boost trade and security cooperation.
Oh, snap. Oh, snap.
Meanwhile, China over across the world, they making moves.
Mahmoud and Ning Ling over there making agreements with each other. Trade agreements, by the way.
Yeah, Osama cousin. Because, you know, Afghanistan ain't got nothing nice to say about America.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Let's read that.
China, Pakistan, and Afghanistan will enhance trilateral cooperation in various sectors, including trade and security, the Pakistani foreign minister said in a statement on Wednesday. The statement was posted on X after informal talks in Beijing between Pakistani Foreign Minister Ishqdar, Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi, and Afghanistan Acting Foreign Minister Amar Khan Mutik on Wednesday. The 3 foreign ministers reaffirmed trilateral cooperation as a vital platform to promote regional security and economic connectivity. The Pakistani minister said they discussed enhancing diplomatic engagement, strengthening communications, and taking practical steps to boost trade.
You see that right there? It said to boost trade. What did America put on China? Tariffs. So China finna get their money because China, guess what they did? They actually took the time to educate their population and to teach their people how to build things like this. They know how to build stuff like this. America, they just buy from somebody. Now China is about to start doing what with Pakistan and Afghanistan? Boost trade.
But this is the three key things. So it says they're taking practical steps to boost trade. What else?
They discussed enhancing diplomatic engagement, strengthening communications, and taking practical steps to boost trade. Infrastructure
is the thing that the United States uses in order to go into countries and take them over. They say we're going to build you highways, and we're going to build you airports, and we're going to build you municipalities, and we're going to help you to get interconnected with all the other parts of your land, and we're going to help you start this, and it's going to create jobs. It's going to create jobs. We're going to give you money, and we're going to create jobs for you. And meanwhile, go ahead and run me the rights to your whole country real quick.
Facts.
Let me go ahead and get that up off you.
Yeah. And when we call you, your army got to go to war for us.
Exactly. And we're going to put a base here. We're going to put a garrison here. That's what the scriptures called it. We're going to put a garrison here just in case. All right? Just in case you may get attacked.
Right.
Meanwhile, just in case you get out of line,
Yeah.
we already here and we can regulate.
Set it off.
You understand? This is what they do. Go to what that is, Revelation 17, Revelation 17, the last verse. The whore that sitteth upon many waters.
It just goes to show you that America continues to isolate itself while the other nations are continuing to come together. The more America puts sanctions and tariffs on Russia and China, the more they coming and going to other people and creating a stronger bricks.
This the book of Revelations, chapter 17 and verse 1. And there came one of the 7 angels, which had the 7 veils, and talked with me, saying unto me, Come hither, I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters.
The great whore, all praises, that sitteth upon the many waters is the United States of America. These people got bases all over the world, everywhere. They got the most bases in Japan. So why are they worried about protecting America from something all the way across the world? Because they know eventually all of these allies, all of these nations, they're going to eventually turn against them.
Yeah, because they've made so many enemies, they don't know where the attack's going to come from. They know it's imminent, but they don't know who gonna set it off.
Exactly. But they're looking at China and Russia.
Right, watching them.
They're looking at China and Russia. And now China just made a power move to put Pakistan and Afghanistan in their back pocket. They already in close with Iran. They already in close with Korea. They getting all of the Ishmael. They getting all of them together.
And for those that don't know, if you can get a map real quick so people can get a visual, Pakistan is like right on the border of Afghanistan. It's not that far. They are right there. And if you create an infrastructure, you boost trade, because it's not just going to be China trading with Afghanistan. No, Afghanistan going to trade with Pakistan. Pakistan going to trade with China. Look at where they located.
Right next to each other.
Right there, right there, right there.
Twin countries.
And then, you know, Iran, they already pissed off at Iran. Look, they're right there.
Look at the power move that they're making. They already got India. They already got Iran. They got Iraq. And even if BRICS is unsuccessful, they're still going to do their job at uniting those people that need to be united, which is Ishmael. They're going to unite them. They're going to help them understand their purpose, remember their nature, and they're going to come.
That's it.
They going to come. Believe you me. They coming. Where we was at?
Revelations chapter 17 and verse 1.
Oh, so that was the whore that sitteth upon many waters. Now, read that last sentence again. They discussed
enhancing diplomatic engagements, strengthening communications, and taking practical steps to boost trade.
So wait, it said enhancing diplomatic engagement, politics, strengthening communications, meaning I'm going to let you in on some of my plans, y'all let me in on some of your plans. Taking practical steps to boost trade, that's getting your money right. Infrastructure, that's getting your ability to come to each other. We're going to help infrastructure, so that means that Afghanistan can travel to Pakistan if need be. Pakistan could travel to India if need be. Y'all going to have interconnected highways. Y'all are going to have the things that y'all need to boost these things. Y'all going to have railroads. Remember, they was already talking about building a railroad. You understand? They're going to help out with all of that because China got the money. Read on.
Strengthening communications and taking practical steps to boost trade, infrastructure, and deployment as key drivers of shared prosperity. Islamabad and Beijing had also agreed to expand China's global infrastructure development program and Belt and Road Initiative to Afghanistan through the China
See that? The Belt and Road Initiative to Afghanistan through the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor. Meaning, if you got supplies, we're going to help you get these supplies to this person when they need it. Y'all could travel over here when y'all need it. That ain't no different between NAFTA. When the U.S. made the agreement between Mexico and Canada, the North American Free Trade Agreement, they didn't. No, who else said anything about that? Now, you got this. Now, Afghanistan, Pakistan, and China, now they talking. And they ain't going to be the only ones. You understand? Even if they don't succeed in forming their own little government that they're going to try to do, they still going to succeed in raining down fire on Babylon the Great. Hey, let's go to what you got.
Now, it's where it says, before Wednesday, Trilateral meeting, Dar held separate talks with Wang, in which the Chinese foreign minister called Pakistan an ironclad friend and an all-weather strategic partner.
An ironclad friend and an all-weather strategic partner. Meaning no matter what, they're going to stand by us.
Yep.
They basically just talked about their loyalty.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? They basically just talked about, hey, they are my loyal friend.
So basically, China's saying, I'm going to invest in you, and I know you're going to look out for me.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. So go to the next article. I ain't following. I'm just going down the line. So you got China that's strengthening ties with Afghanistan and Pakistan. Then you got the U.S. that wants to build the Iron Dome because they're scared that somebody from the other side of the world is going to attack them. Didn't they go to Iran and tell Iran to stop building nuclear arms?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Now, why would you want to go there? Because you know they don't care. You killed their leader some years ago, and they still never forgot that. Then you bombed a few of their spots through Israel. Israel bombed a few of their facilities. Then they shot back. Remember, they shot all of the missiles back and said those wasn't even the strong ones?
They shot the low-level missiles.
The low-level joints. And it still got through. Now let's see what's going to happen.
Read the title. Watch the title. Watch the title.
Israel could strike Iranian nuclear facilities. Washington alleged obtained new intelligence suggested ongoing preparations for such an attack.
Ooh-wee. So you got Israel that's planning on striking Iranian nuclear facilities. Let's read that.
The chance of an Israeli military strike on Iranian nuclear facilities has gone up significantly in recent months. CNN reports on Tuesday, citing multiple U.S. officials familiar with new intelligence assessments.
So new intelligence assessments, because, you know, in military intelligence, they do assessments like, depends. Sometimes they do it every 8 hours. Sometimes they do it every day, every 12 hours. Sometimes every hour, depending on the severity of the situation. They are constantly updating their assessments, their threat assessments. And now they're saying, okay, there are possibilities to go ahead and strike on Iran's nuclear facilities. That's probably a big possibility. Mm-hmm. That's probably a big possibility. Read on.
While Israeli leadership has not made a final decision, recently intercepted communications suggested that planning is activity underway, unnamed sources have told the network. U.S. intelligence has also noted U.S. intelligence has also noted Israeli military activities, including the movement of air munitions, and the completion of an air exercises.
So which means that their Air Force is doing exercises. Because remember how they did in the Black Sea? Was it the Black Sea? They were doing military exercises in the Black Sea. And it was right there by Ukraine and Russia. And, you know, saying they was trying to say, oh, we're just doing military exercises. No, y'all wasn't. Y'all like to do slick stuff, and they call it a military exercise. Mm-hmm. And then y'all be setting up stuff and attacking people. Read on.
Which could indicate preparations for an imminent strike.
So those military exercises, military, they don't do stuff for no reason. They're not just going to hop in a jet and waste gas just to fly around and do nothing. It's not going to happen like that. They're going to get in a jet and prepare for certain maneuvers, certain strikes in order to hit certain targets. They're not just going to hop up in there and just do it for nothing. They're going to be strategic with it. Read on.
Several officials acknowledged that the actions might serve as a strategic signal to Iran, aiming to pressure Tehran into concessions during ongoing negotiations with Washington. However, one source cited by CNN warned that the prospect of a Trump-negotiated U.S.-Iran deal that doesn't remove all of Iran's uranium makes the chances of a strike more likely.
So they're basically saying, if the U.S. can't convince Iran to get rid of all of their uranium, and uranium is the element that's used when making nuclear warheads, if the U.S. can't convince Iran to get rid of all of their stuff, they're going to attack Iran. Israel is going to attack Iran. That little bitty country is going to attack big old Iran. Now, I wonder why.
And Iran, I'm going to tell you straight like this. Iran is not finna give up their uranium. The U.S. has tried for years, and it didn't help that they bombed Soleimani. You really got to think about it. You bomb one of their guys and say, oh, yeah, by the way, I need y'all to shut down building y'all nukes. Are you crazy?
Yeah.
They not finna do that.
Hey, let's see what the Bible say. Go to 2 Ezra 15. Start at verse 28. We read these scriptures all of the time, but guess what? Now they're starting to come more and more close to being fulfilled. Read that.
This is the book of 2 Ezra, chapter 15 and verse 28. Behold, in horrible vision, in the appearance thereof from the east.
Where is Iran? Where is Pakistan? Where is Afghanistan? Where is China? The east. Read.
Where the nations of the dragons of Arabia.
The nations of the dragons of Arabia, that's all Ishmael,
shall come out with many chariots, and the multitude of them shall be carried as the wind upon earth. That all they which hear them may fear and tremble.
Because eventually, all Ishmael is going to wake up. Them dragons is going to wake up out of Arabia, and they're going to start attacking. There you go. You got Syria. You got Jordan. Remember, Jordan said that they are Hamas. You understand? You got them getting messed over in Gaza. You got Jordan. You got Iraq. You got Saudi Arabia, Yemen, Oman. You got Iran. You got Afghanistan. And yes, Iran is the Persians, but you got some Ishmael mixed up in there too. You got Turkey. Turkey claims not to be an Islamic state, but everybody in there practices Islam.
Exactly.
You got all of these nations of the dragons of Arabia. You think they're just going to sit around forever and not say nothing? Nah. They quiet for a reason, because the Spirit of the Lord didn't move yet to anger them. But it's coming. Read on.
Verse 30. Also the Carmanians.
The Carmanians are the Iranians. Read.
Raging in wrath shall come forth as the wild boars of the wood.
Why are they going to come forth as the wild boars of the wood? A wild boar is something that's vicious. They go for the eyes. You understand? A wild boar will mess you up. Let that pig come to you and you don't do nothing. Watch you get towed to pieces. Read on.
And with great power shall come, with great power shall they come and join battle with them.
With them is the dragons of Arabia. Iran is going to join battle with them. They already getting messed with. The U.S. is already messing with them. Israel is already messing with them. They're threatening them. They're killing their leaders. They're killing their brothers right over there. Read on.
And shall waste a portion of the land of the Assyrians.
They're going to waste a portion of the land of Israel. They're going to fight back. Israel ain't going to be just sending them bombs and nothing is going to happen. They eventually going to fight back. And they're going to waste a portion of that land. And then guess what has to happen? Big brother Babylon got to come and save the day.
The least of them going to draw them in.
You understand? The least of the flock shall draw them out. All of this stuff is meant to happen. It's going to happen. Let's get back to the article.
And before we do that, though, it just goes to show you that it's the Spirit of the Lord, because It's that one little country over there, Israel, going against all these big countries, and they in the midst of it. They bombing all of these countries and thinking that nothing is going to happen to them. It shows you that Esau has a prideful heart.
Yep. Most definitely. Let's read that.
U.S. President Donald Trump tore up the 2015 UN-backed agreement on Iran's nuclear program during his first term in office. He accused Tehran of secretly violating the deal and reposed sanctions.
So he's still putting sanctions on them. He tore up the first deal and then put more sanctions on them. I don't believe you being sincere. This is the way that they move. If you don't do exactly what they say and tuck tail how they want you to tuck tail, then they hurt you more. Like the scripture saying Isaiah 14, they rule the nations in wrath with a continual stroke. Read.
Iran responded by rolling back its own compliance with the accord and accelerated its enrichment of uranium.
They said, "The hell with that. We're gonna make more uranium."
More uranium.
You know what I'm saying? That's the Carmanians raging in wrath.
They not letting up.
Nope. They ain't gonna let up until they start attacking.
Right.
This ain't gonna end. This not going back. They not going backwards. This ain't the age where everybody is scared now. They're starting to get bold. Read.
Since returning to the White House, Trump has been pressuring Tehran into a new agreement and has even threatened to bomb the country if a deal isn't reached.
So see, that's why people got to pay attention right there. That's why they like, okay, what? We know that you'll do it because you bombed us already. He said, yeah, I had my shot, had to take it. It was great. You know, I saw an opportunity, I took it. You already bombed them. And now you threatening to bomb them again. And you say, well, I'm gonna give them my stuff up. No, China got their back now, and Afghanistan.
Why would I let you bomb me and not have a weapon to hit you back?
Right.
That don't even make no damn sense.
I'm telling you, Iran probably thinking right now, like, look, your Golden Dome ain't even together. You talking all greasy. I'm gonna get you before you get me. That's the way they thinking. When they raised the remember they raised that red flag up. Mm-hmm. They not hanging around listening to the radio waiting for them to get bombed.
And China backing them just going to embolden them even more.
Yep. There you go.
Hey, go back to Isaiah 14. So this stuff, I'm telling you, this stuff is not this. Look, y'all could not believe the Bible is a true book all you want. You can keep your head in the sand all you want. But see, the prophets, we're going to watch the news. We're going to look at the world events. Christ said to do that. He said, watch, therefore, and pray. And we're going to watch and pray. What we watching? We watching what the enemy do. We watching the fightings of the world. We watching the wars of the world. We watching the governments and what they do. We watching everybody. All we doing is sitting back, watching. And looking and reading our Bible, reading our manual, our records, our salvation. We're going to read that and just look at it come to pass. Start at verse, well, really? Let me get 10.
Isaiah chapter 14 and verse 10. All they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou also become weak as we?
Oh, so now they're going to pull a skirt up. Now they're going to see, did the United States become weak like us? Are we that weak? Well, are you that weak? You just like us? Because you was slapping us around before. Now you got somebody else slapping you around. Read.
Art thou become like unto us? Thy pomp is brought down to the grave. In the noise of thy vows, the worm is spread under thee, and the worms cover thee. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer?
Lucifer means light bearer. It ain't talking about no damn angel. For all you Philip Anthony Mitchell churchgoers, that dude was lying his behind off. Ain't no archangel named Lucifer, bruh. He was not the most beautiful angel. He wasn't over music and all of that stuff. That's a lie. That is a bold-faced Catholic lie. Okay? Lucifer is the light bearer, also known as Babylon the Great. Matter of fact, put a picture of the light bearer up. Put up a picture of the light bearer. It said, how art thou fallen from heaven? Ain't talking about the actual heaven. You understand? Matter of fact, get James 2:17 or 2:19. just to show you that this ain't like, this ain't like you Negroes out there. This ain't like you Christians out there that's going to hear the word of God. Verse 19. James 2:19.
This is the book of James, chapter 2, verse 19. Thou believest that there is one God.
Thou believest there is one God. Read.
Thou doest well.
That's well. That's good that you believe there's one God. Read.
The devils also believe.
The devils also believe that there is one God. And they do what?
And tremble.
See, they tremble. If the devils listen, they believe that there's one God and they tremble at that God. They do what that God says to do. They don't go outside the parameter of what God says to do. That includes the demon Satan. The devil, he does not go outside the parameters of what God said to do. If you don't believe me, just read the book of Job, the first chapter. He said, everything you have, you got it, but just don't touch his body. Now, if he was rebellious, he'd be like, hell with that. I'm about to just kill him.
Yep.
Wouldn't have been no book of Job. Everybody listens to God. It's only us that's in this flesh and blood that we find it easy to disobey God. Everybody else obeys him. The sea, the wind, the animals, the plants, the vegetation, everything obeys God except for us. We're the ones that's different. We're the ones that rebel against him. We're the ones that change his word. That Lucifer is that, put it up again. Chimoli. That is the light bearer. You see what they got in his hand? A light. It is a light that's telling you, hey, come here. That's the light. How you falling from heaven? From your rulership. Because that's what the heaven means in this context. From your rulership. We're going to keep reading. Go back.
Isaiah chapter 14 and verse 12. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nation?
Satan is not the one weakening the nations. As we've been reading, they just said, Trump said, if you don't reach a new deal with us, we're going to bomb you. That's weakening the nations. Gaddafi said he wanted to give free electricity and make his own money for his people, and you murdered him. You weakened that nation. You took their leader out. They kill leaders left and right. The strength of that nation, you kill it. And then you put your own leader there. You keep that nation weak. Read on.
Verse 13. For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God.
That's what they did when they went to space. Read.
I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation.
That's Israel.
In the sides of the north.
They sit upon us. They sit upon us. Read on.
I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. Satan
never said that. When have y'all ever seen a picture of Satan like God? Oh, I have. It's called Caesar Borgia.
Right.
It's called Caesar Borgia. That's the one that says he's going to be like the Most High. They're the ones that say that they, when you look, what is that? I don't want to say the wrong artist. The one with the finger of God and the finger of Adam touching. I want to say it's Da Vinci, but I'm not sure if it's Da Vinci. I don't think it's Da Vinci.
No, that's Michelangelo.
Michelangelo. So you got the finger of God and the finger of Adam touching. What color are they? Caucasians. They are Caucasians. You understand? Caucasoid. They not Negroid. They naked. And matter of fact, yeah, get the picture. On the side of them, they got little naked angels. Why all the angels is naked?
Right.
The scriptures say that when they saw the angels, they was deathly afraid. Mm-hmm. You understand?
Right.
The angels wore garments. They wore clothing. But yet Esau, in their fornicative, defiled mind, they always keep them naked with no clothes on.
And you know, it could have been better if they had a male and a female. It's just two males.
That's it.
Okay. Touching fingers in the most effeminate way possible.
But why they all naked though? They ain't got no grown people in heaven? Why everybody a naked angel baby? Why? Why they got naked angel babies? They ain't got no grown up angels? You know what I'm saying? Like, what really going on? Ezekiel said he saw an angel with 4 faces. Why we don't ever see that? Why they don't ever choose that? Because it's imagery. They want us to see them as God. Just like it said in 2 Thessalonians 3, that wicked need to be revealed, who sits on the throne as God, who puts himself as God. That's the wicked. You can't tell me that it's somebody else. It's a nation of people that does that. It wasn't just Da Vinci. And it wasn't just Caesar Borgia. Why is it that every time they come up with a new Jesus movie, animation, or whatever, they all look like Caesar Bo? Mm-hmm. If nobody don't know what he looked like, but they still maintaining the same facial structure, eye color, hair color, beard shape, all of that stuff. His beard ain't never all the way down here. His beard is always just cut short.
Yep.
His hair is just flowy, just enough. Mm-hmm. It's always a little wavy. You understand? But we don't know what Jesus like. It don't matter what he look like, but they all look the same though. Yep. All right, read that article now.
Iran and Israel exchanged strikes in April and October of last year, marking the most dramatic escalation between the regional rivals. Early this year, Israel reported proposed an extensive bombing campaign to knock out Iranian nuclear facilities, according to the New York Times.
They tried to, but it didn't work.
But Trump refused to back it, opting instead of pursue diplomacy. Since then, according to Reuters, West Jerusalem has been considered a more limited strike that will require minimum U.S. support.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what they say. But look, right now, we got to go to break, all right? We got to go to break. Don't forget to go ahead and donate to the Booster Club, donate to the Booster Club, donate to the Booster Club. All right, we're going to go through a little break right quick, and we're going to come back, and we're going to continue to cast down these imaginations and hit this dragon in the head, all right? Stay tuned.
Israel Bishop Nathaniel. Some of you call me the general, and I appreciate that term, but today we're going to find out if I'm a true general. So as we know, the 12 tribes of Israel, like James 1:1 said, were scattered throughout all nations.
We need more schools of the truth, of the gospel being taught, okay? We need to hit these areas, Madagascar even.
Let me good. Quelle est sa couleur? Quelle est sa couleur? Qui nous sommes? Israélites. Israélites. Hey, Shalom Israel, Most High in Christ bless. We're in Diego Suarez in Madagascar. We are doing an international march. This is Southeast Africa. Can you believe it? All right, so you see the men back here. Got Bishop Kanad, Bishop Yawasop. We're doing big things. So this ain't about being local. This is about being global. This is about being international. Now, I'm not knocking local, that's fine. But God has IUIC on an international mission, a global mission.
C'est ça, Dieu dit que vous êtes. Et les autres nations sont... Les autres nations sont
Just how it looks out here, it looks like that where I'm from in the hood. We at the bottom of society. Why? Because we have not been taught the law. Worldwide! Worldwide! Unity! 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 Never give up!
President Trump says that the Africans are treating the Afrikaans,
white Africans,
so badly. They give them asylum in America.
but the reality is that a majority of the black people are the ones who are most marginalized.
If you look who owns most land in Africa, it's still white people.
Yes.
There are no white people that live in shacks today or in informal settlements. There are no white people that are looking for work or suffering, fearing for their lives in terms of crime that happens in Africa.
We don't have father figures. Male black people have been demonized and cast aside.
Yes.
To be rapists, murderers, and all of these things. Where do we start in terms of reclaiming the narrative, the true narrative
Very good.
of what the role of the church is?
Well, this question is unlike all the other questions. As stated, this is on the other side of the world. This is on the eastern side of the world. Most of quest 1 through 7 was in the Western Hemisphere. This is the first one on the Eastern Hemisphere.
And it's important for us to understand that regardless.
Hey, shalom, welcome back, Israel, Most High in Christ bless. Hey, look, we gotta give a shout out to our leadership. You know what I'm saying? Our leadership. We got to give a shout out to our leadership, man. They are constantly doing the work. All right, they're constantly doing the work, and that should inspire all of us to do the work. All right, to inspire us to want to learn more, to inspire us to want to do the work, to get our passports, visit those nations that Christ told us to visit in Matthew the 28th chapter. All right, so we gonna continue to beat this dragon in the head, man. Look, we not letting up. We are not letting up. All right, let's go to this next article.
Beyond reach, why America's Golden Dome may be powerless against Russia doomsday missile.
May be powerless.
It is.
We already know it's gonna be powerless.
Powerless. All right.
Real quick, before we read that, let's go to Isaiah 14 again. Read verse 24.
Isaiah chapter 14 and verse 24.
Uh-huh.
The Lord of hosts has sworn, saying, surely as I have thought, so shall it come to pass.
As I have thought, so shall it come to pass. So whatever the Lord said is going to happen, that's what's going to happen. It ain't going to be nothing else. Ain't going to be nothing different. It's going to happen exactly the way he said it's going to happen. That's why it's not going to work. But let's see what this article is talking about.
Earlier this year, U.S. President Donald Trump launched the ambitious Golden Dome initiative, a sweeping plan to build a national missile defense system capable of shielding Americans from modern threats, ballistic missiles, hypersonic weapons, and advanced cruise missiles.
Because they know that those missiles are actually getting better. Some of them ain't even following natural trajectory. See, normally the missile will go up, warhead detaches, and the warhead comes down. Now they just coming straight at you. They got ones that's in submarines that you can't even detect. You understand? Imagine shooting a nuclear bomb from a submarine right off the coast.
And not only that, you can fire a regular missile, and in flight they can flip a switch and make it nuclear.
Yep. So it takes off a regular missile, flip a switch, and now it's nuclear. This is the technology that they playing with. Telling you, read on.
Designed as a next-generational shield, the Golden Dome aspires to close gaps in the nation's defense and guarantee security against a broad range of airborne dangers. But even the most sophisticated defense can face a threat it wasn't designed to stop. As Washington doubles down on its plans for a new shield, Russia is preparing a weapon unlike anything currently in existence.
That's the side effect right there. You know how they give you a medication, they say, hey, this thing will fix everything on you, but it might cause your face to swell up. It's always going to be a side effect. May cause your teeth to fall out. Something going to come with it.
Yep.
A nuclear-powered cruise missile with unlimited range, and it's a threat the Golden Dome may struggle to counter.
It said unlimited range.
Yeah, right.
Normally they have like a range of 3,000 miles, 500. You know how that's be 500 kilometers, 1,000 kilometers. This said unlimited range, meaning it could circle the Earth a few times if it have to, in order to hit the target. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy work. Read on.
Unexpected question for America's new shield. Russia is on the verge of deploying an entirely new class of cruise missiles that could fundamentally alter air defense paradigms. Nuclear-powered, unlimited-range cruise missiles, chief among them is the Burvanik.
That's them same missiles that Cap was showing. He had like 1 through 5 of the missiles that Russia was creating.
Yeah.
The same thing that they talking about right now. That was a couple of shows ago. Cap was showing that stuff.
Hey, if you can, look that up. The type of missiles that Russia has, what Officer Thomas was just talking about. Let's read along while y'all getting that.
It's only logical that U.S. missiles defense planners are thinking ahead to such unconventional threats. Open source intelligence researchers like M.T. Anderson have recently shared satellite imagery revealing suspected construction of Burvesnik launch facilities near Volgograd. If verified, this will mark the next phase in a deployment of a weapon capable of shaking the foundations of global strategic stability.
Ooh, shaking the foundations of global strategic stability. So, oh my God. Anyway, y'all crazy as hell in the comments, bro. I ain't even gonna front. So, go to Revelations 18:4. Revelations 18:4. This is why we have to get ourselves right, because the missiles that they're creating cannot be stopped. These are very powerful weapons of war. They cannot be stopped. Read that.
Revelations chapter 18 and verse 4. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins.
You got to come out of the sins of Babylon. You got to. You got to come out of the sins of Babylon. These are the only ways to come out of her. Get 1 Peter 3:21.
This is the book of 1 Peter, chapter 3 and verse 21. The like figure whereunto even baptism do also now save us.
So baptism does save us, read.
Not the putting away of the filth of the flesh.
Not the putting away of the filth of the flesh. How do you put away filth from your flesh? With water. No longer does water do anything for you, read.
But the answer of a good conscience toward God.
But the answer of a good conscience toward God. Your mind got to be right. That's why you got the Christian church baptized. They dipping people 3-4 times. Remember the one where the dude got dipped and he came up and he smoked the crack pipe? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. They had another one. The girl got dipped and she came up like she was a supermodel. I know people personally that have got baptized 2, 3, 4 times. And they still wicked as hell. It's not the water that does anything. Besides the fact that that was John's baptism, not the baptism of Christ. You understand? Christ's going to baptize us with the Holy Ghost and fire. The fire ain't came yet, but it's coming. That's the fire we talking about right now. That is coming. We got to prepare ourselves. And how to do it? Acts 3:19. This is how we do it. To prepare ourselves to get an answer of a good conscience toward God, we have to do this.
This is the book of Acts, chapter 3, verse 19. Repent ye therefore and be converted, that your sins may be blotted out, when the times of refreshing shall come from the presence of the Lord.
The times of refreshing is that fire. The times of refreshing is when God purges this earth. The times of refreshing, before they come, we need to repent and keep the commandments. That's what we got to do. You understand? We're not going to get the kingdom just by singing, "Oh Lord, I love you, Jesus, hallelujah." That's not going to happen. Thinking real hard on the name of Jesus is not going to happen. You got to get rid of that thing that's in your mind. You got to get rid of your flesh. You got to subdue your own understanding. That's what you got to do. You got to come out of Christianity, come out of Catholicism, come out of Islam, come out of all of these different religions. You got to come out of it. What we're talking about is not religion, it's history. It's actually current day events too. Because currently we're reading about something and we go into the Bible to prove it. And it's also a book of future prophecy. The stuff that happened in this Bible is going to happen again. It's going to happen again. So we got to get our minds right. Go back to the article.
Russia first revealed that Burevestnik missile during President Vladimir Putin's address to the Federal Embassy Assembly on March 1st, 2018, dubbed SSCX-9 Skyfall in the West. The missile has been cloaked in secrecy ever since. The commonly used designation 9M730 Burevestnik is actually a misnomer, as the 9M730 label originally referred to a version of the Askanic M missile system, but the minor details in the larger picture.
But what they're saying is they got a whole lot of weapons, but that's small compared to the bigger picture. Read on.
Reports suggest that Burevestnik testing has been ongoing for years at sites like Novaya Zemlya, the Nikosok Naval Testing Range near Severodvinsk.
I know that's them words is crazy, but power through it. Power through it, brother. We got you.
And the Kopstin missile complex, the latter featuring specialized infrastructure operating by Rostom. As recently as 2 years ago, it seemed Russia was still far from completing Development.
Now, it said it seemed. You want to know why? Because they always looking. They always investigate. Remember the last article said that they was always doing assessments.
Yeah.
So it said they seemed like they was some years from development. But what happens?
Now, however, signs point to a major shift. Operational launch sites are reportedly under construction.
Whoa! Meaning they are ready to launch now. Or at the very least, they're very close to being ready to launch. So when those launch sites are finished their construction, they're going to be the ones that
They said they started this back in 2018. Our people missed it. But I want to get to how this missile works.
Yep.
This is the good stuff right here.
Let's read it.
How the Burevestnik works. Visually, the Burevestnik resembles a traditional cruise missile with folding wings for a compact launch storage.
So it looks like a normal missile, but watch this. It gets better.
It launches from a ground platform using a solid fuel booster, then switches to an air-breathing nuclear-powered jet engine.
Damn!
Once it reaches cruising speed.
Watch how long it'll cruise
In
for.
theory, this engine heats incoming air via a compact nuclear
reactor,
allowing the missile to stay airborne for weeks or even months without refueling.
They built something that stays airborne for weeks, even months, without stopping to get gas.
Damn. That's why I got unlimited range.
Right.
Damn.
So you can. How long it take to go? You can fly around. You know it ain't going at no like 20 miles an hour.
Nah. That thing's supersonic.
It's moving.
It said it switches to the engine heats incoming air via a compact nuclear reactor. So you already know how fast. You don't even know how fast that's going.
Bruh. It said that it's air breathing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It breathes air.
Yeah.
A bomb that breathes air like we do. So you know there's an unlimited supply of air. Imagine what it's going to. What's that video of?
The nuke. That's the
All
missile.
right, let's see that video. Let's see that video.
Bring on the destruction. Look at that. That is,
Damn.
it's fall out of the sky. You don't even hear them coming.
So they just
That's it. They drop.
And you're dead before you know it.
And he could have. And here's the thing: they could have fired that a couple weeks back, and just have them circling. And just,
You know what I'm saying?
Just drop.
Now that's scary. That's scary because they could have been. They could launch it and you don't even know.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? That's why Trump wants that Iron Dome, because he wants something to be able to detect that thing. But a lot of the missiles that Russia and them is coming up with, they're maneuverable. They can change trajectory in an instant. So you think that, all right, I'm going to send an interceptor missile to blow it up, and it jukes it.
Right.
That's something you can't predict. Those are variables that you can't anticipate. What we got next? And what's crazy about that is when it's close to you, you don't hear it. You hear it when it's far away. So if there's a bomb or missile, mortar, rocket, whatever, if you hear it, it's far away. In retrospect, that's good because it's not near you. But most of the time, when it's gonna hit you, you don't hear nothing. It's just a loud noise and the ground shakes and you get knocked on your biscuit. What we got next? Oh, what's up? What's on the rest of the article?
That was
Oh snap! Outflanking defenses. Let's see.
outflanking defenses. A nuclear-powered cruise missile would be capable of striking anywhere on the globe from any direction. It could exploit satellite communications to update flight paths, evade interception.
You hear that right there?
Evade interception.
That goes your shiny chrome dome right there.
There you go. How you gonna have a golden dome, but it evades gold?
Exactly.
Read on.
And even receive new target information mid-flight.
That's why you can launch it a few weeks out, and you can just go on your little, probably one of your little devices like this and say, okay, I'm gonna launch it at somewhere in the middle ocean. Just have it in a holding pattern and say, okay, let me go ahead and put it in this coordinate right there.
Read on.
Naturally preventing accidents is critical, but it's likely the specialized recovery system, possibly involving
Parachutes.
Parachutes have been developed. The ability to safely operate a nuclear power engine system from technology breakthroughs achieved in the 1990s and 2000s, when Russian scientists successfully built compact nuclear reactors. These advancements paved the way not only for the Burvesnik, but also for other projects like the Poseidon underwater drone. Poseidon underwater drone.
Meaning there's that nuclear reactor, not nuclear reactor, that nuclear bomb that's in the submarine. They can shoot it in the water. Read on.
Notably, the U.S. and the Soviet Union both explored nuclear power aircraft concepts during the Cold War. Despite extensive research on platforms like the B-36 and the Tu-95, both nations ultimately abandoned the projects due to
insurmountable
engineering challenges, astronomical costs, and radiation safety concerns.
Yeah, right.
Exactly.
If they stopped, then how the hell they got all this technology today?
Because they didn't stop.
Exactly. But that's it. Go to Isaiah 34:1. You get the next article ready.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 34, verse 1. Come near, ye nations, to hear, and hearken, ye people. Let the earth hear, and all that is therein, the world and all things that come forth of it. For the indignation of the Lord is upon all nations, and his fury upon all their armies. He had utterly destroyed them. He had delivered them to the slaughter.
There you go. Read on.
Their slain also shall be cast out, and their stink shall come up out of their carcasses, and the mountains shall be melted with their blood.
This is I'm telling you, this is the destruction of Babylon happening. Read.
And all the host of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll.
The rolled together as a scroll is that nuclear bomb. That nuclear destruction that's going to happen. It's rolled together as a scroll. Read it again.
And all the host of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll, and all their hosts shall fall down, as the leaf falleth off from the vine, and as a falling fig from the fig tree.
That goes into their satellites. Remember, Trump said that he wanted the satellites up there to protect but all that's going to fall. All of that's going to fall. You're not going to stop prophecy. You can't stop the word of God from happening. It's going to come to pass. Read on.
For my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea.
Idumea is Esau, Edom. Read on.
And upon the people of my curse to judgment.
The people of his curse is the white man. They gotta get it. There's no turning back now. Y'all are in it. You knee deep. You finish it. Finish your course. Do what you was designed to do. Bring forth the coming kingdom. Because y'all have had the earth. Y'all have destroyed it. Y'all have destroyed the people of God. And now the people of God are going to watch you get destroyed. We're going to reveal the wicked until there's nothing else left. Read on.
The sword of the Lord is filled with blood. It is made fat with fatness and with the blood of lambs and goats, with the fat of the kidneys of rams. For the Lord had his sacrifice in Basra, and a great slaughter in the land of Idumea.
That lamb and all of that stuff that they was talking about, that's talking about people. That's talking about people. That sacrifice is everybody getting killed. Remember, the blood going to come up to the horse's bridle and all of that? It's going to happen. Y'all not getting past this. Y'all not getting past this. Let's see what Gravitas is talking about.
U.S. President Donald Trump has unveiled a plan for a golden dome to protect the country's skies. It should be operational in about 3 years by the end of Trump's time in office. What is this plan all about? My colleague Eric Njoka getting you more. Eric?
Well, this is a grand plan. Let's talk about this grand plan now. The Golden Dome will be a ground and space-based missile shield system. It is expected to include 3 layers of air defenses, sensors to detect threats, ground-based interceptor missiles to target incoming missiles, and additional systems to handle slower altitude threats. Now, according to the U.S. president, once fully constructed, the Golden Dome will be capable of intercepting missiles launched from other sides of the world, even from space.
Now, that's why the prophecy had already said that all of those things are going to fall like figs from the fig tree. Because their air defense, their space defense is useless. It's not gonna work. They're going to put $175 billion into something that's going to break. They're going to put $831 billion projected over 2 decades into something that's going to fail. They really think that their money is going to save them. Mm-hmm. You understand? Your money ain't saving you.
No.
It ain't saving you. The prophecies is going to happen. Ain't no getting around it. Why do you think that the nations of the world hide who we are so much? Why do you think? Why do you think they invest trillions of dollars into hiding our real identity? Why is it that when Bishop do a class, one book be $40 at noon, and at the end of his class it's $4,000?
$10,000 for a book.
You know what I'm saying? Why outprice it if the information is fake?
Exactly.
Why outprice it out of our range? But you got to understand that some of us are very well off. And some people got $4,000 to spend on the book. Some people got $1,500 to spend on the book. Some people got $500 to spend on the book. They'll do it. You understand? Look at all the craziness that we spend our money on. It's not like black people are poor and broke. Yeah. We just poorly manage our money. But imagine somebody with money that knows what to do with it. That's why you got to, look, help with the Booster Club. Help with the efforts.
Right.
Those of y'all that have it, give. All right? Because we need these efforts to continue to teach the gospel to all Israel scattered abroad. Who else is going to do it but the prophets? This is our job. Play on in the video.
The design for the Golden Dome will integrate with existing ground-based defense capabilities. Now, it is aimed at protecting the country from cruise missiles, ballistic missiles, hypersonic missiles, drones, whether conventional or even nuclear. So how much will it cost? Trump has so far announced $25 billion in initial funding for the plan, which he said could eventually cost a total of some 175 billion US dollars.
But remember, that's why we like to get multiple sources, because one said he asked for 25, but then the estimate was 175. But they're looking to invest 831.
And what they're going to say is you can't put a price on safety. You got to have it.
They're going to say they got it from all them cutbacks that they got.
Yeah.
From Doge. That's what they're going to say they got the money from. They overinflating like all of that. They got all that stuff from the federal government, man.
Yep. Because when they start jacking up prices, we know why. I mean, some people have actually caught on to the movement. You see the gas prices go up, oh, they might be going to war. Oil is going up. We know that that's a sign.
Yep.
But then when they start cutting back jobs and cutting off welfare and government assistance and stuff like that, and they start even hitting their own people, it's like, oh, well, this is a lot different. Hey, go to the next video or article, whatever one we have, the next thing. Like, what's going on here? Why is it that we got to move like this? Well, let's see what China got to say.
China seriously concerned over U.S. Golden Dome defense system.
Uh-huh.
Scroll. Beijing, China is seriously concerned about the U.S. Golden Dome missile defense shield project and urged Washington to abandon its development. A foreign minister spokesperson said on Wednesday.
Now let's see why they're so concerned.
U.S. President Donald Trump said on Tuesday he had selected a design for the $175 billion project and named a Space Force general to head the ambitious program aimed at blocking threats from China and Russia.
Uh-huh.
Chinese Foreign Minister spokesperson Mao Ning, when asked about the project at a regular press conference, said it carries strong offensive implications and heightens the risk of a militarization of outer space and arms race. The United States, in pursuing a U.S. first policy, is obsessed with seeking absolute security for itself.
Now, why would that be an issue? Because you're part of something like NATO, where everybody looks out for the safety of everyone else? Because you're a part of certain trade agreements where everybody got to look out for the benefit of everybody else? But now people are starting to see that you are becoming a bit selfish. You making sure that you are fully protected. Now, why? Read on.
This violates the principle that security of all countries should not be compromised and undermines global strategic balance and stability.
Meaning, like I just said, everybody should. If you're going to protect yourself like that, we should all be protecting ourselves like that, not just you. Why? What makes you so different from everybody else that you get all of this protection? Read.
China is seriously concerned about this, Mao said.
Now, go to the next one. So China is seriously concerned, and for good reason, because it's like, yo, why are you moving like this? Hey, real quick, go to It's 2nd Ezra 16. 2nd Ezra 16. Yeah, 2nd Ezra 16 and 1.
This is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 16 and verse 1. Woe be unto thee, Babylon and Asia.
Babylon and Asia. China, you got to watch out too. Read.
Woe be unto thee, Egypt and Syria.
Uh-huh.
Gird up yourselves with clothes of sackcloth and hair. Bewail your children and be sorry, for your destruction is at hand.
Why? Because China is looking like, bro, if the U.S. is trying to protect itself like that, and what do people always say? If America goes down, China's the next superpower. China already got it in their mind. Like, hold on, wait. If they do this to America, what the hell they gonna do to me? Exactly. They gotta look out for themselves. What, you think China ain't got spiritual advisors too? The scriptures say that they wiser than Daniel. You don't think that they watch the prophets and see what we talk about, see what the bishops and the deacons be bringing out, and take notes on it? They know that there's something in this Bible that's supposed to happen, and they're constantly watching for it. Read that article.
U.S. launches nuclear missile in doomsday test to showcase readiness in growing World War III fears.
Ooh, World War III, because everybody talking about it. World War III, World War III. Read on.
The U.S. Air Force launched a hypersonic missile early Wednesday in what officials described as a doomsday test.
Because they want to strike back. So the U.S. is doing missile tests and exercises and coming up with all of these different things. Why are they so scared that everybody else is doing it too? They doing it. Read on.
The Minuteman III Intercontinental Ballistic Missile, ICBM, was launched at 12:01 a.m. Pacific time from Vandenberg Space Force Base in California.
While we was all sleeping. Read.
The test coincided with President Donald Trump unveiling plans for a proposed $175 billion Golden Dome defense system.
Uh-huh.
According to Trump, the system is intended to protect the U.S. from the world's most powerful weapons, drawing sharp criticism from China and Russia, who warned it could ignite a global arms race.
Because if you're going to defend yourself,
they're going to defend themselves.
They're going to defend themselves. It's only right. I mean, I'm watching you load up on money. I'm watching you load up on weapons. I'm watching you load up on defense systems. Why would you be so defended if you don't plan on attacking? Well, now I got to up my defense systems. Get the next thing.
No.
Oh, wait.
Read the unarmed missile part. Watch this. I said, these things ain't going 2 miles per hour.
The unarmed missile traveled 15,000 miles per hour.
I'll read that again.
The unarmed missile traveled 15,000 miles per hour, completing a 4,200 mile journey in approximately 22 minutes.
Less than a half hour.
Before reaching its target near Kajawan Atoll in the Pacific Ocean.
So it launched from Cali and hit the Pacific Ocean in under 30 minutes.
The United States is only 3,000 miles across.
Yeah. So 15,000 miles.
Damn. It's just a video?
That's supposed to be the doomsday clock or something?
Yep.
Here, the Bulletin of the Atomic Scientists sets the doomsday clock.
The so-called doomsday clock.
Doomsday clock.
The doomsday clock.
The doomsday clock. The clock is a metaphor for estimating humanity's proximity to catastrophe. In 2023, the Bulletin set the clock at 90 seconds to midnight, the closest to disaster it has ever been, citing the war in Ukraine, the COVID-19 pandemic, and cyber-enabled disinformation. In 2024, the time was held at 90 seconds to midnight. The Bulletin traces its origins back to the Manhattan Project and the scientists who hoped to warn the world about the dangers of their creation. The clock was introduced in 1947 and originally set at 7 minutes to midnight. The Bulletin has been setting the clock for more than 75 years. Originally, the Bulletin focused primarily on nuclear risk, but as technology advanced, and human impacts on the planet became more pronounced, the scope of coverage expanded. Today, the bulletin is focused on reducing the threats posed by nuclear weapons, climate change, and the potential misuse of biological science and other disruptive technologies. In setting the doomsday clock, the bulletin's Science and Security Board asked themselves 2 questions. Is humanity safer or at greater risk this year compared to last year? And how does this year compare to the more than 75 years we have been asking the question?
Now, come on now. Is humanity at greater risk than it was last year? Of course it is. Yes, it's going because the wicked has been doing more wickedness from last year. They more wicked this year than they was last year.
Right.
What makes you think that we're going to be better off? I told y'all earlier in the show, it's not going to get no better. This stuff is not getting no better. Yeah. Now, go to the first one. There you go. Yeah. So, can you zoom in some more? All right. So, this is an excerpt from Bishop's book. All right. It's an excerpt from Bishop's book. And if y'all don't have it, y'all need to go get it. I was supposed to bring my copy today, but I walked out the house without it. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. People are crazy. Anyway, terrorism is prophesied to come to America. Let's read that.
Terrorism is prophesied to come to America. For the vision is yet of an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. Habakkuk 2, verse 3 and 4. The prophecy Habakkuk saw the conquering of the land where Israel dwelt. This coincides with Babylon as the ancient Babylonians once did. He also saw the redemption of Israel in Babylon, and God told him the vision that he saw was the appointed time, and though it tarry, wait.
Meaning, though it didn't happen yet, wait for it, because it's going to happen. Read on.
His soul which is lifted up is not upright. This refers to this white man, the oppressor. His soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, meaning you cannot change him. You cannot make him a Christian. You cannot make him a Jew. You cannot make him a child of God.
You can't. That's why all of our people that are in Christianity, you get all of your information about God from the so-called white man. You believe that he's a white man. You believe that you got to be dipped in some water. You believe that all nations could be saved. Now, if they believe all nations could be saved, where's the Christian pastors at telling the Russians and the Chinese and the Americans to stop this arms race? Where's everybody at? Didn't all the black people pray for Trump in the White House?
Yeah, they had hands on
him. Where they all at telling him, no, you got to love Russia. You got to love China. They're all God's children. We're all God's children. They're planning on war tactics that will definitely put the lives of its people in danger, and nobody's speaking out against it. Nobody's saying anything about them gearing up for war. Nobody's saying anything about them preparing for World War III. Nobody's saying nothing about them having ballistic missiles that they're testing right off of the coast of California while we're sleeping. Read on.
Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 5 says, yea, also because he had transgressed by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home.
Neither keepeth at home, meaning he in everybody's land. That's the whore that sitteth upon many waters. Read.
Who enlarged his desire as hell.
Meaning he want everything. He want everything from everybody, and he want to control everything. Read.
And is as death.
He brings death everywhere he goes. Read.
And cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations.
That's why America is the great melting pot. They put everybody here. Read.
And heap it unto him all people.
He brings everybody here. Now, since you're bringing everybody here, and you're also attacking everybody, isn't it safe to say that there are some people that are among you that's going to be a part of your enemies? Go ahead.
His wine is his lying political policies. Micah 2:11 says, if a man walketh in a spirit in falsehood, do lie, saying, I will prophesy unto thee of wine and of strong drink. He shall even be the prophet of this people, proving wine is a metaphor for lies. This man need to keep it at home. America has well over 845 military bases around the world. She policed the world. He enlarged his desire as hell, meaning he brings hell to any country he invades and ushers in debt, and he cannot be satisfied with what he's already conquered and stolen.
Man, he stole the whole continent of Africa.
Whole hemisphere.
He stole the whole hemisphere. You ain't lying.
The whole hemisphere.
He stole the whole Western Hemisphere and still ain't satisfied. Bro, how the hell you steal an entire 2 continents on this side of the earth, including the islands in between, and you still ain't satisfied? That's why they're sending rockets out to space, trying to go to Mars and stuff. Now you want Mars? You want the red planet? You want Jupiter too? Saturn? You want all of the rings? Come on now. Read on.
Once he destroys a country in the name of democracy, he allows heaps and gathers many of those persons to come to America for citizenship.
Yep. That's what democracy is. That's why earlier they was talking about the infrastructure being created between Pakistan, Afghanistan, and China. Because once you give a country infrastructure, that country is in debt to you. Same thing with the U.S. When the U.S. comes with democracy, you are in debt to the U.S. And you have to do what the U.S. says to do. And the moment that you don't take their aid, that's the moment you become public enemy number one.
They sanction you or then they bomb you.
Yep. And then you end up like Gaddafi. Read on.
Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 6 says, shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his. How long? And to him that laid it himself with thick clay.
Let's see what that means. Read on.
Verse 7 says,
No.
Oh, shall not all those nations take up a parable against him? Woe, meaning destruction, to him that increaseth his wealth and empire with what is not his. How long will this continue? He ladens himself with thick clay refers to the nations. See Daniel 2, verse 43. And whereas thou sawest iron mixed with miry clay, they shall mingle themselves with the seed of men, but they shall not cleave one to another, even as iron is not mixed with clay.
Meaning they got all of these nations here, but everybody's still divided. When you think of racism, what do you think about? Black people versus white people. You got Chinatown. You got Little Italy. Mm-hmm. You got all of these different sections of the United States where people are holding on to their own culture.
Yep.
They are completely separate from the rest of the culture of the U.S. They're not doing everything that everybody else is doing. And that's fine. But when we start doing it, when we want to take our kids out of school because we don't celebrate Christmas, when we want to take our kids out of school because we don't celebrate Thanksgiving, when we want to educate our own kids, then it's a problem.
Yep.
When we start looking at our stuff, then it's a problem. Why? Because they spent trillions of dollars keeping us in the dark. They don't want us to snap out of it. They don't want what Willie Lynch said that, what did he call it?
What?
That,
The great phenomenon?
yes, the great phenomenon. Mm-hmm. That great phenomenon is us waking up to the knowledge of who we are. This Bible right here, that's the great phenomenon.
Right.
We wasn't supposed, like Bishop Yawasab said, how did you niggas find this out? How did y'all get past the destruction that we set for you? We made billions off of you, trillions even.
Right.
We made trillions of dollars off you. We kept you in the dark for centuries. How the hell did y'all wake up now? What happened? Because you can't predict the Spirit of the Lord.
Right.
You can't predict how the Spirit of God is going to touch those people that you thought about, that you forgot about. Keep reading.
Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 7 says, shall they not rise up suddenly that shall bite thee, and awake that shall vex thee, and thou shalt be for booties unto them.
Meaning they're going to spoil you. Who was going to do that? Them same clay that you heap up to yourself. Those same nations that you heap unto yourself. Read on.
These nations shall rise up, sleeper cells, and awake, sleeper cells, that shall vex the attack thee, and they will get their revenge.
They will get their revenge. Read.
Now God gives us the reason. Why? Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 8. Because thou hast spoiled many nations, all the remnant of the people shall spoil thee, because of men's blood, and for the violence of the land, of the city, and of all that dwell therein. While under the Biden and Kamala Harris administration, the borders were left wide open to come into America. Nahum 3:13 says, behold, thy people in the midst of thee are women. The gates of the land shall be set wide open unto thine enemies. The fire shall devour thy bars.
And they let it. Remember, they let over. Remember all them Afghanis that they let in? They was falling off the plane trying to come over to America.
Yep.
They let Ishmael in through the border because Ishmael be trying to blend in with Issachar. They let Moab in. They let all of these different people in. You don't think they got sleeper cells? You don't think they got a loyalty to their home country that they're just waiting on a call? And you can't tell who they are. But y'all worried about us, though.
Right.
We number 3 on the hate list. But y'all worried about us, though. You understand? All we doing is reading the Bible. You scared? You should be. Hey, go to the next thing. That's it? Oh, damn. All right. Hey, it is what it is, man. We look. Y'all bear with me. I'm sorry if I kept y'all up late. I know we got to get up, you know what I'm saying? But look, Israel, this stuff right here, these things are going to happen. It's not going to stop. The Iron Dome ain't stopping nothing. It's prophesied that the United States of Babylon, they're going to fall. They're going to go down. All these other nations, they're going to come against her. All right? And they're going to burn her with fire. It's going to happen. You're not stopping nothing. That's it, though. All right, what else we got? Give alms and stuff like that? Oh, Booster Club. Booster Club. Give to the Booster Club. We got to get this. Everybody don't have YouTube. Everybody don't have YouTube. Sometimes YouTube, our channels are blocked in some of these countries. So it's not like they could just go on and just watch class. Some of these countries, they don't have AT&T and Verizon. You can't just get a good cell phone plan. You still on 3G in some countries.
Yes.
You understand? That ain't fast enough to load up no video. You understand? You gotta understand that it takes a physical effort to go into these countries and teach these people. Some people live in the jungles.
Yeah, your feet gotta carry the gospel to them.
Exactly.
Literally. We've been there.
Exactly. You got to feed the sheep. All right? Go find the lost sheep of the house of Israel. All right, y'all. So look, that's our time. This is Precept Upon Precept. You know the Iron Dome ain't about to stop now. All right? I'm Captain Matt.
Officer Micah.
Officer Thomas.
Officer Malachi.
And with that we say, Shalom.